how many delegates do you have sewed up?
When it comes to delegates, we neither sow nor do we reap.
What was that again, Mrs.
I
Mr.
said-
Russell was making a joke. What he means is
He said neither do they sow.
Well, what about ex-President Hofstadter? Do you have his support?
In a word, no.
Do you think you'll get it?
Ask him. There's a rumor he's in Philadelphia.
Yes, he's upstairs. He's going to make a statement tonight. He says it's between you and Senator
So
Cantwell.
I guess we'll have to wait until tonight.
Mrs. Russell, what do you think of your husband's chances?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we have to wait for the convention, don't we?
Mr. Secretary, there is a deadlock between you and Senator Cantwell. Whom do you think will be the dark horse candidate?
Jackpot. I'm sorry, I'm not about to build up a dark horse, but I'm doing my best to look like the light horse.
Sir, what do you think of Governor Merwin's chances?
John Merwin is a very talented young man. We don't know much about
Would you
him, of
consider
course.
Governor Merwin as a running mate?
I might. He's one of a number of capable young men.
Mr. Secretary, how did you interpret the Gallup polls this
I
morning?
didn't interpret it because I didn't see it.
Senator Cantwell picked up 2% from you since last
But
week.
we're still leading by 9%.
But you can say I don't believe in polls.
Mr. Russell means that.
I don't believe in polls, accurate or not. And if I might share one of my little sermons, life is not a popularity contest, neither is politics. The important thing for any government is informing the people about issues, not following the ups and downs of popular opinion.
Does that mean you don't respect a popular opinion? Do you think a president ought to ignore what the people want?
If the people want the wrong thing, if the people don't understand an issue, if they've been misled by the press, by some of the press, then I think a president should ignore their opinion and try to convince them that his way is the right way.
Do you think the people mistrust intellectuals in politics?
I'm glad you asked that question. Bertrand Russell seemed to think so. He once wrote that people in democracy tend to think they have less to fear from a stupid man than from an intelligent one. Bertrand Russell.
Oh, same name.
Yes, but no relative, unfortunately.
Wasn't he fired from the New York City College?
Yes, he was fired, but for moral turpitude, not for incompetence as a philosopher.
What image do you feel Senator Cantwell is projecting at the moment?
Image? He's behaving himself, if that's what you mean.
But hasn't his basic image changed?
I'm sorry, I don't know much about images. That's a word from advertising, where you don't sell a product, you sell the image of the product. Sometimes that image is a fake.
But after all, your own
It's
image.
a poor thing but mine own. Paint me as I am, warts and all.
What?
Oliver Cromwell.
Okay, fellas, we'll have a statement for you in about an hour. The headquarters office is right through here. The mimeograph machine has been repaired
And wisdom flows by the yard.
I have a feeling Miss Jensen would like the candidate to stop talking. I'll see you all later after the convention. Until then, as Senator Cantwell would say, may the best man win.
Well, I just got here. I used to visit as a girl.
Please wait until we unpack.
Do you drink the tap water?
I have no intention of losing Pennsylvania by admitting that I boil the local water.
What do you mean by that, Mrs.
Bertrand Russell at a press conference?
All right, DJ, all right, no more jokes. From now on, we project blandness. A candidate should not mean, but be. And no matter what happens, I shall smile. Serenely, fatuously, ineluctably. Floods destroy the Middle West, and the candidate smiles. Half the world is starving, and the candidate smiles. War is declared, and the candidate smiles. Is there anything more indecent than the human face when it smiles? All those predatory teeth reminding us of our animal descent.
Steady. No mention of Darwin. Evolution is out of bounds. Before the Garden of Eden was the Word. And stop looking in the mirror.
I never pass a mirror I don't look in it. I wonder why.
Vanity.
I look to remind myself I really exist. One needs constant proof.
I better use the bathroom while I've got a chance.
Alice, don't drink the water!
Hello? Who? Oh, Mrs. Gamage. So good to hear your voice. Yes, ma'am. Well, he does have the Texas delegation in about 20 minutes, but if you come right now. Oh, good, you're in the hotel. Fine, we'll see you then. Our national committee woman.
The only known link between the NAACP and the Ku Klux Klan. How does she do it? How?
Mr. Secretary, sorry to interrupt.
It's all right, Catherine.
Here are your newspapers.
Thanks. My God, I'm keyed up. I feel like I'm going to jump out of my skin. Can't sit still.
Well, you won't do much sitting between now and Wednesday. Here's today's schedule. Most of the delegations will come to us. See, it's a tight schedule, starting with Texas at 11:15.
Getting so close, so close. What's going to happen?
We've got the delegates. It's yours on the first ballot, if you can get ex-President Hochstadter's endorsement. Mrs. Gamage.
Mr. Secretary.
Mrs. Gamage, it's wonderful to see you. Come on in, sit down, have a drink. You know Miss Jensen, don't you, my campaign manager?
Such a nice hotel for a convention. I always say the hotel you're at makes all the difference at a convention. Does Mrs. Russell like your suite?
Practically a home away from home.
She is here with you, isn't she?
Yes. This is a good chair.
I'll sit here. Thank you.
I must say, it is so nice to finally meet you at last, Mrs. Gamage.
And I'm glad for a chance to see you, Miss Jensen. I love eggheads in politics.
Oh, well.
What can I get you to drink?
I don't drink, Mr. Secretary. A Coke or a glass of soda, maybe. Anything. Professors like you give such a tone to these conventions. No, I really mean it. Of course, a lot of the women don't like them, but I do. Though, of course, I didn't like the New Deal.
Here's your soda.
A great many of the women are suspicious of you, professors. You don't mind my speaking like this.
Of course not, Mrs. Gamage. I mean, after all, talking with you is like talking to the average American housewife. I mean, you are not average, but you speak for them.
Oh, very nicely put, Miss Jensen. I don't know why everybody says she's so conceited.
DJ stuck up? Why, she's the spirit of humility. An old shoe, in fact. As for being intellectual, she can hardly get through the Greek anthology without a trot.
Yes. You see, the women like a regular kind of man. Like General Eisenhower. Now, he really appeals to the women. That nice smile. He has such a way with him. You could imagine him washing up after dinner, listening to his wife's view on important matters.
Yes, indeed you can.
Nothing pushy or aggressive or all those things we women don't like in our men. He's just grand. Now, Mr. Secretary, there is no doubt in anybody's mind that you're going to get the nomination on the first ballot.
Well, there is doubt in my mind.
Yes. Now, let's face facts a minute. You don't mind if I talk turkey?
No, by all means. Turkey.
You are not the ideal candidate for the women. You know that, I suppose.
Well, what women do you have in mind?
The women don't like you trying to be funny all the time.
Wasn't Abraham Lincoln something of a humorist?
Oh, the women were not voting in 1860. But they are very suspicious of a man who doesn't take things seriously. So just don't try to be smart, Alec, and talk over their heads. I hope you don't mind my talking like this, but there isn't much time.
I'm certainly grateful for your candor.
Now, we want to see more of your wife. A lot more.
Well, she was sick, you know.
And your two fine sons, they're very attractive. That was a nice spread of them in life. At the barbecue. Very, very nice. We'll want more of that. But most important, your wife should be at your side at all times. She must seem to be advising you. The women must feel that there is a woman behind you. Just as there has been a woman behind every great man since the world began.
Alice plans to campaign with me.
She's a tremendous asset, I don't need to tell you. The women like the way she doesn't wear makeup and looks like a lady and seems shy.
She is shy.
She doesn't make the women feel jealous, and that's good. Oh, it did Adlai Stevenson great harm not having a wife. And trying to be funny all the time, too. Great harm. Now, I want to ask you a blunt question. What truth is there to the rumor that there's been marital discord between you and Mrs. Russell?
Mrs. Gamage, my wife is here in Philadelphia. If I'm nominated, she will do everything possible to be a helpful candidate's wife.
Could I see her?
Of course. Alice, come on out and meet Mrs. Gamage.
Mabel Cantwell's such a nice woman. Really one of the girls you feel like you've known her your whole life. The last time I was in Washington, Mabel gave this lovely dessert luncheon for me with 4 tables of canasta.
How very nice to see you.
You couldn't look better. I mean it. Oh, I like the whole thing, especially the naturally gray hair. That's such an important point with the women. Mabel Cantwell, of course, dyes her hair, but she gets away with it because she does such a bad job. The women feel sorry for her. Oh, I see you have a million things to do. I just want you to know I'm for you, Mr. Secretary, and I'm sure you and Mrs. Russell are a winning team. Oh, when you're the First Lady, just remember this, don't do too much. Like Mrs. Roosevelt, the women didn't like that. On the other hand, don't do too little like Mrs. Eisenhower. The women don't like that either. All in all, Grace Coolidge was the best. Bless her heart. My husband had such a crush on her.
Oh, how is Mr. Gamage?
Mr. Gamage passed on in 1956. He was stricken during the New Hampshire primaries.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
So am I. He was a fine man, though he didn't like politics. He suffered his terminal thrombosis when I was in Wisconsin that same year. Oh, Bill, go to it. The women are behind you.
You don't know how much that means to me, Sue Ellen.
Us girls will get together real soon. And that's a promise.
I do hope so, Mrs. Gamage.
Oh, by the way, a little bird tells me that Joe Cantwell has a surprise for you.
Surprise.
Uh-huh. He's going to smear you with something, so they say.
Smear me?
Oh, here I am telling you what you already know. I'm sure you can handle it. Bye, Bill, Mrs. Russell. Bye, Miss Jensen.
Smear you with what, Bill?
I don't know.
Well, Alice, word has come from on high. We're about to receive a visit from our distinguished ex-president.
I must say he's one of the ones I like. Except when he tells those long stories.
Which will it be, the kiss or the knife?
How can you lose? Like everybody else, he loves a winner.
And he does like you, Bill.
I don't know, he's a funny old bird.
Yes?
The volunteer women for Russell are on the mezzanine. They want to know if they can see Mrs. Russell.
Are you up to it?
Of course I am. Tell them I'll join them in a few minutes.
Copies of the secretary's speech for tonight.
I'll check them now.
You might let me get a look at it too. I'd like to know what I'm saying.
Come off it. Your speechwriters are the
Best
best.
money can buy. They've written speeches for Eisenhower, Truman, Dewey, Hochstetter, Roosevelt, Hoover, and Harold Stetson, which prove they are men of overpowering conviction.
Do you want to write 4 speeches a day on top of everything
Of
else?
course I want to, but I can't. There isn't time. But it's a shameful business, speech by committee.
Not to mention president by committee.
Please tell the writers, again, that the word alternative is always singular. There's only one alternative per situation.
I will denounce them as anti-semanticists.
Only one alternative per situation. Unfortunately, that's grammar.
And marriage. Oh, I left my handbag.
I'm sorry we're in such close quarters.
I don't mind if you don't.
After all these years apart, separate rooms, separate lives.
Someone sooner or later says politics makes strange bedfellows.
Yes.
Certainly there's nothing stranger than the two of us in the same room.
I don't suppose I'm the first candidate to be in this situation.
Bill, don't apologize. I said I would do what I could to help, and I will. Besides, if I were to ask for a divorce now, you couldn't be president, could you?
I wouldn't count on that.
It would be awfully difficult, and it's considered bad form to get rid of the old life. You know, I really want you to be president.
Why?
I don't know. Perhaps I'm unexpectedly ambitious. Perhaps I want to be first lady. Or perhaps I look forward to seeing you occasionally. Don't look so alarmed. Only in the line of duty, you know, a chance meeting in the East Room, an ambiguous encounter in the Lincoln bedroom.
Alice,
Yesterday, a woman of the press wanted to know what changes I would make when we moved into the White House. I said nothing of the structural nature will be changed. Will it?
You know, I do like the idea of the two of us back together again.
Bill, I am not a delegation from the Legion of Decency. You don't have to charm me.
I wasn't trying to. I mean it. I know it's tough.
Ah! Only for you. You're the one with the problem. How to get girls into the White House. Or will you have a special place on K Street, where the president in disguise, of course, can meet new people?
Why do you say things like that?
Obviously, because I'm frustrated. Isn't that the usual excuse women give? And isn't that the usual reason?
When the desire to make love to someone goes, it goes, and nothing on earth can bring it back. Between us, it went.
For you.
I suppose what I wanted in marriage was a friend.
And instead you got a very conventional girl who wanted a husband. Who wanted it. No, I won't put that record on again. I don't know why, but we never manage to say anything new when we get onto the subject of my inadequacy or your, well, what shall we call it this time? Athleticism? Since according to the ground rules of our marriage, we can call it anything except plain old-fashioned promiscuity.
Look, if you'd rather not be with me and go through this gloomy farce, then don't. Quit right now.
Quit? Certainly not. I like circuses. Besides, I'm good for you. Isn't that what Dr. Artinian said after your breakdown? You are a link, he said, between father and sons, between William, Russell, and the world.
Dr. Artinian was right.
But I wonder what I would have done that summer at Watch Hill when we first met at the club. If someone had said, that handsome young man you've just fallen in love with will always need you as a link. If I'd known then what I know now, I think I would have slashed my wrists in front of the buffet table and beautifully bled to death between the chicken salad and the lobster Newburg.
Luckily you were not given to melodrama.
Not yet, anyway. But you are very nearly a great man. And I suppose I can endure anything because of that. Even so, I must insist on my one condition. There will be no house on K Street and no girls in the White House. That is the Treaty of Suite 674, agreed to this 31st day of July, 1960, in the city of Philadelphia.
Agreed. Thank you.
So, here we are.
Somewhat past our youth and friends.
Would be nice if we were, wouldn't it? I really think you'll make a good president.
What happens to the treaty if I lose?
We go our separate ways, which is what you want. Do I look all right for the volunteer women for Russell?
You do.
I ought to. I'm a founding member of that considerable body.
Hi, honey.
Oh, Mr. President.
You're looking mighty pretty, Miss Alice, as usual.
Mr. President.
No. Plain old Art Hochstadt to you.
Where did you come from?
Through the privy. There's a door into the next suite. I snuck through.
You look wonderful after your operation.
Well, I should. Thought nothing but a hernia. I'm bouncing my grandson too hard.
What can I get you to drink? No, don't tell me. Bourbon and branch water.
With which I shall strike a blow for liberty. Oh, Miss Alice, don't let nobody know I'm here, right? Thank you. Well, son, how do you like politics?
I like it so much I'm beginning to worry.
Awful, ain't it? Worse than gambling, I sometimes think. Me, I was hooked when I wasn't more about that high. And this four-flusher named William Jennings Bryan come to town. Last campaign, I think it was. And they shot the works. I mean, there was a firelight parade, there was a picnic, there was the works. And then finally, on top of an old dray out in the middle of the field, this fella got up, and you have never heard such hollering from a crowd. Big man he was. So he looked to me anyway. 9 foot tall, hair coming down over his collar, that square red face of his. But when he talked, it was like thunder on a summer evening. Everyone was still listening to him. I used to know that whole speech by heart. You shall not press down upon the brow of labor this crown of thorns.
You shall not crucify mankind upon a cross of gold. Then Bryant lost the election.
Yeah, so he did, so he did. But right then and there, a young farm boy named Art Hochstetter said, I'm going to be a politician. I'm going to get people all riled up. I'm going to eat a lot of barbecue and fried chicken, have all the pretty girls hanging on my every word.
Your endorsement, ours, is a very important thing for anybody who wants to be nominated.
Yeah, I know it is. But so, indulgent old duffer. I mean, after all, getting you fellas to listen to my stories and squirm a bit by waiting to see who will put my money on, about the only pleasure I got left.
I'm squirming.
I got a fatherly feeling for you, son.
And I have
Even
always...
though I got some doubts about you. Doubts. Yeah, well, I'm kind of responsible for your career. I mean, you was my Secretary of State, and I had a swell one, but as you know, people don't give a damn about Secretaries of State. They figure this foreign situation's a mess anyway, and the fellow that has to deal with it is. I think the people that think that the Secretary of State is by definition a foreigner.
I know. And if he doesn't like it here, he better go back where he came from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, you was a fine governor before that. But, of course, Rhode Island ain't what we call a king-making state. Hell, but it ain't your ability that I'm doubting. Hell, man, you are 10 times as qualified as I ever thought of being. Look at me now. Possibly one of the greatest statesmen of all time.
You were pretty good.
Yeah, you bet I was. But it's practically our secret now. There ain't no overwhelming public movement to get me added to that rock garden on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, but that ain't for me to worry about. No, my objection to you, I suppose, is prejudice. I mean, for one thing, you are a fancy Dan from the East, but I'm nothing if not a realist. The age of the great hicks that I belong to is over. People trust you rich boys. They seem to think that you've got enough money of your own, you won't be stealing theirs. I think the people that like this Rockefeller are figuring in the back of their minds if he's elected president, he may decide to pay off the national debt out of his own pocket. If he do that, I'd vote for him.
What do you think of Joe Cantwell?
Uh-oh. That is a leading question.
Well, I am proposing myself as a leader.
So yes. Well, all right, I'll follow. Joe Cantwell is nothing but ambition. Just plain naked ambition.
And to get himself elected, he will lie.
Yeah.
He will cheat.
Yeah.
He will destroy the reputations of others.
Oh, yeah.
Good, then I assume that you are supporting me for the nomination.
Oh, hell, man. The fact that he's a bastard wouldn't be a good candidate or even a good president.
Joe Cantwell, you're not serious.
Well, he's got a good sense of how to operate.
To operate, no, to accommodate. The people are conservative.
I'd be conservative.
And if they're radical?
He'll be radical. I tell you, he's a ring-tailed wonder, and don't you underestimate him.
I don't.
Of course, he ain't got your brains, but then very few of us are as bright as you.
Now,
No, I mean it. You are a superior man of a kind we don't see enough in politics. Cantwell's just another mediocre boy like me. Smoother, of course, a later model.
He is not like you. He'll do anything to win, and that makes him dangerous.
Well, I don't know that I'd go that far. At least he knows his own mind.
You think I don't know my own mind?
Well, now, Bill, you got such a fine mind that sometimes you can be so busy analyzing the complexities of a situation that important problems don't get solved.
Oh, I'm not that subtle. I am not that undecided. I'm not Prince Hamlet.
Oh, Hamlet, eh? A lot of fine speeches in that play. A lot of fine speeches in you, Bill.
Art, don't support Cantwell.
Well, what makes you think I'm going to?
I mean it, and I'm not just thinking about myself, I'm thinking about the country.
Well, you gotta admit Joe Cantwell ain't afraid to act.
Neither am I afraid to act.
Oh? You know, I'm thinking of a time that you was in conference with the Russians, and you was all set to approve further nuclear testing. And then when the roof fell in on my administration, I found you'd been talking yourself up the other side of the street.
I hesitated only because the Russians
Yeah, I'll
had taken...
say you hesitated. Well, you don't see Joe Cantwell hesitating. No, sir. He is sharp and he is tough.
He is not tough, he is expedient, and that is a very different thing. And I promise you, if Joe is elected president, he will be the greatest appeaser in history.
Oh, I'd hardly call him a appeaser.
Suppose the Chinese were to threaten to occupy Taiwan, and we were faced with the possibility of a world war, the last world war. Now, that is something you and I understand. I think we can handle it without going to war and without losing Taiwan. But what would Joe do? Well, he would look at the Gallup poll. And what would the Gallup poll tell him? Well, ask the average American. Do you want to run the risk of being blown up in order to save Taiwan? And he'll say, hell no. Joe would do the popular thing, to hell with Taiwan, and we would be the weaker for it. And that day we're all afraid of will be closer.
Son, you've been reading too much of that Joe Alsop fellow. Things don't ever get that bad. But the worst part of it is, there ain't nobody you can believe. That's the awful thing. People are lying to you all day long. And of course, my wife died. Oh, I tell you, the wonder is that most of us ain't worse than we are. Bill, do you believe in God?
Do I believe? Well, I was confirmed in the Episcopal Church, and I served...
Yeah, that ain't what I'm asking. I'm Southern Methodist, and I'm still asking. Do you think there's a God and a day of judgment and a hereafter?
No. I believe in us, in man.
Well, I've many's the time had to pretend I thought there was a God for political purposes.
So far, I haven't told a lie in this campaign. I have never used the word God in a speech.
Yeah, well, the world's changed since I was politicking. Back in those days, you had to spread God over everything, like cancer. No, sir. I do not believe in a hereafter. We passed this way but once, and then nothing. Bill, I'm dying.
What?
Now that talk of a hernia, that was a big lie, I'm afraid. Hope you don't disapprove. I got the doctors to say the operation was a great success, but it wasn't. I got cancer of the innards, and they tell me I may last just long enough to attend the next inaugural.
Oh, that's... Look, is there anything they can...
There's nothing they can do. They give me some pills to cut the pain. Yeah. Tell you, son, I'm scared to death. That's a phrase for you, scared to death. That's exactly right. I don't fancy being nothing. Just a pinch of dust. No, sir, I don't like that at all.
I wish there was something I could say that was reassuring, but
Only
you wouldn't fall for it anyway.
Only good thing I see is the rest of you sons of bitches are going to have to join me one day. some consolation in that. No, sir. If there's any point to this universe that eludes me,
The whole thing was a tragedy. For all of us. But there's hope in this. Every act we make sets off a chain of reaction that never ends. And if we're reasonably good, there is some consolation in that, a kind of immortality.
I hope you can tell yourself that when you finally face up to a whole lot of nothing on down the road. But for the moment I'm alive. The day after tomorrow we go into the convention hall and we act like life is all there is. Which, come to think about it, is true.
The Texas delegation is here. Oh, hello, Mr. President.
Bill, don't tell nobody what I told you.
Of course not.
Yeah. And meantime, I'm going to keep you in suspense until tonight at dinner.
And then?
I shall throw my support like a bridal bouquet to the lucky man. By the way, Bill, those rumors about you and your lady friends, they ain't gonna do you a bit of harm. But you keep out of trouble, you hear me? You ain't written a lot of letters like some fellows do.
No letters.
Good boy. She's a nice girl, Alice.
I think so.
And you never tell a lie, do you? Well, good for you. I'm glad to hear it. Damn, that upper plate of mine pinches. I was going to get a new one. They said it'd take a month or two to make it, so I decided to hold off with what I got. Oh,
Are you sure?
no. You go on in there with your crazy Texans. I'd sure like to be a fly on that wall and hear you telling the whole truth about what you really feel about the depletion of the oil resources allowance.
Get out of here, you old bum.
Oh, come on now. That a respectable way to talk to the end of an era? To the last of the great Hicks as he shuffles off the stage? Through the privy?
Well, what did he say?
He won't let us know till tonight.
He's gonna come out for you, I know it.
No, he's going to support Joe Cantwell.
What? Are you out of your mind? Come on, hurry up. The natives of Texas are getting restless. Now remember, on the oil issue.
I know, double talk. For those we are about to deceive, O Lord, make us truly compassionate.
Who walks the stair without a care and shoots so high in the sky, bounds up and down just like a clown. Everyone knows it's Slinky, the best present yet to give or get, but costs a little to buy. The hit of the day when you're ready to play. Everyone knows it's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's Slinky. But fun is the best of the toys. It's Slinky, it's Slinky, the favorite of girls and boys. It's Slinky, but fun is the rest of the toys. It's Slinky, the favorite of girls and boys. Everyone wants a Slinky, you will get a Slinky.
Slinky toys for hours of fun. Slinky Caterpillar, Slinky Train, Slinky Dog, all at your favorite store.
Good evening. I'm Mike Riley with the news from Philadelphia. Today, from all across this country, delegates and candidates, party officials, campaign workers, pundits, and politicians descended on the city for the start of the convention. The frontrunner, Secretary William Russell and Mrs. Russell, flew in this afternoon from their home in Rhode Island. This morning, Mr. Russell's challenger, Senator Joseph Cantwell and Mrs. Cantwell arrived. Senator, what do you feel about your opponent, William Russell?
Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for
Lord,
Russell.
that
of the people's touch. I think we need a real man of the people for president. Someone like Art Hochstetter, who's been an idol of mine all my life.
And what do you feel about tax reform?
Oh, I favor tax reform. I think by cutting down government spending, we can eventually eliminate the income tax entirely.
So you feel we can increase military spending while eliminating the income tax?
And I just want to say, I think it's a pretty swell thing that in a country like this, someone like me from a poor family can come here before you, speaking for the real people of America. All I can say is that come Wednesday, I only hope the best man wins. May the best man win.
That went well, Joe.
Yeah.
You'll be arrested before dinner.
About Hochstetter. Now, what did he say when you saw him? What exactly did he say?
He said he hadn't made up his mind, but he would by tonight.
Mabel, honey, come on out. It's just Don Blades and me. Oh, look at you. You know, you better get dressed. We've got to go down to dinner in 30 minutes.
I'll be ready, baby. Don't worry. Fix yourself a drink, Don.
Can I get you something, Mabel?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't. Oh, well, maybe just the teeniest martini to settle my stomach. Oh, Joe, you look so tired.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, I've been here. I got through the women's tea. I've been here watching the TV. We got some awfully nice coverage. Though that new hair of mine was clearly a mistake. Makes me look like I have no chin. But even with no chin, I look better than Alice Russell. Oh, what a chilly-looking woman she is. She looks just like this English teacher I had at State College. The spitting image. From Boston she was. Always wore her hair in this bun and no makeup. And of course she thought she was a cat's meow.
Here you go, Mabel.
Thank you, dog.
Hey, Don, that joke of yours looks pretty good.
Oh, which one's that?
At his press conference yesterday, Senator Cantwell quipped, Bill Russell has more solutions than there are problems.
All the papers say Hochstetter's coming out in support of Bill Russell. Heaven knows why, with your record in the Senate.
I am tired. I gotta see Hochstetter. Right now, before that dinner.
What are you going to tell her?
Everything. The works. He may not come out for me afterwards, but he'll sure drop Bill Russell.
Okay, you're the boss.
Go on up there. He's on the 7th floor. Tell him I've got to see him before dinner, which is in 27 minutes.
Aye, aye, my captain.
Come on, get dressed.
I'll be ready, don't worry, don't get all head up. Why is Big Papa Bear so mean to poor little Mama Bear?
Baby, I'm sorry. Papa Bear was never mean to his Mama Bear. Never, ever. But honey, you gotta get dressed.
Okay, I will. Joe, when are you gonna spring that stuff on Bill Russell?
Tomorrow.
The whole thing?
Pow!
And then we are on our way to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh, it seems like just yesterday we were skipping along, hardly able to pay the bills to have Gladys's teeth straightened. And now look at us. Papa Bear and Mama Bear and the baby bears in the White House.
Where's my electric razor?
I'll get it. I'll start putting my clothes on.
And that last scallop pole?
Don Blaze got it. Anyway, you're 2% higher than last week, with 12% undecided. Merwin gave 1%, and Bill Russell lost 2%.
And Red Janet?
47% against recognition, 23% in favor, 30% don't know. I'm going to wear that green organza from Neiman Marcus tonight that Don Brooks sent me. I think it looks real sparkly and nice.
Well, that's not enough in favor. Russell's a fool, making an issue out of red china this soon.
I had my hair done by the man in the hotel this morning. He's very nice, but terribly swishy. Anyway, he didn't get the curls too tight. At least I don't think so. He said Alice Russell had her hair done too. He said she refuses to entertain the thought of so much as a rinse. Well, bully for her. She looks easily 10 years older than she is. honey, you think I'm putting on weight around the hips? Are you listening to me? No, I guess you're not. Never listen to poor Mama Bear anymore. Joe, have you ever been unfaithful to me?
Now, did you see Walter Lippmann this morning? Listen to what this guy says. The country's affairs will be in good hands should William Russell be our next president. I don't know why. I don't appeal to those would-be intellectuals. My image just doesn't project to them like his does. Ooh, look at you. Just good enough to eat.
All right, stop now. Don't muss my hair. Come on, zip it up. Joe, you sure you haven't been unfaithful to me maybe just one little time? On one of those junkets, like that awful one you took to Paris, where the senators got drunk and Clarence Whitlaw contracted a social disease and Helen Whitlaw was fit to be tied?
Mabel, honey, there's nobody else. And even if there was, how would I have the time? I operate on a tight schedule.
All
You know
right.
that.
Joe, I spoke to Hofstadter.
Well?
We'll be right down.
And?
Not a clue.
All right, give me that file on Russell. Mabel, honey, go in there and fix your face or something. The president's on his way down.
All right, but Joe, play it cool, like the kids say now.
Oh, I will.
This ought to do the trick.
I'll say it will. Oh, cute. Very cute. And the New York delegation.
Still split down the middle.
Well, they won't be split after this.
Here it comes. Are you ready?
All set. Don, remember, flatter him. Mr. President.
Well, this ought to start some rumors.
Gosh, I'm sorry, sir. We should have made arrangements for you to come in the back way.
No, that's okay. It's getting near the time anyway. I got my speech right here, my teeth are in, I'm raring to go. Yeah, how about you? Where's your party suit?
Oh, well, I have it all timed. Takes me exactly 3 minutes to get into a tux, 2 for an ordinary business suit, and that's including vest.
Well, now ain't you the ring-tailed wonder? Mind if I strike myself a blow for victory?
Oh, let me, please, Tom.
No, I get it. He don't have the habit, you know. People that don't drink don't understand how thirsty us old bucks get long about sundown. No, sir, you don't drink. You don't smoke, you don't philander. You gotta be about the purest young man I ever seen in public life.
Well, I try to be.
Yeah, well, I'm a great admirer of virtue. Being a somewhat sullied vessel of grace myself.
Now, Mr. President, you are an ideal to us in the party.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, well, young fella, you've been doing a remarkable job in the Senate most of the time.
Most of the time.
Well, there have been times when I have questioned your methods.
Well, you have to fight fire with fire, Mr.
And
President.
the end justifies the means.
Yes, sir. Yes, that is what I believe. Yes, sir.
Well, now I've got some news for you, son. About politics and about life. And may I say that those two are exactly the same thing. There ain't no ends, Joe. There is only means.
Well, I hate to disagree with you, sir, but that's just sophistry.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Do not throw those two-bit words at poor old Art Hochstadt. I'm just an ignorant country boy. Now, all I'm saying is, what is important in our profession, which is really life, is how you do things, how you treat people, and what you really feel about them. Not some ideal goal for society or for yourself.
Then am I to assume, Mr. President, from the statement that you have just made, that you are against planning anything?
Hey, here it comes. I know that voice. Senator Cantwell, boy crusader, up on the TV. Well, the small-time hoodlums are wretched before his righteousness.
Now, Mr. President, Joe was assigned that subcommittee. He didn't ask for it, and that's a fact.
Oh, sure, Blaze, sure. Whatever you say. And he just fell into that primary issue about how the United States is being secretly governed by the mafia.
Well, that happened to be true. Anytime you want to look at my files, Mr. President.
Oh, well, say, last time anyone asked me to look at his files, it was Senator Joe McCarthy.
Well, I hope, sir, you're not comparing me to him.
Oh, no. No. You've got a much smoother article. And you got the end which justifies your means, becoming president. No, and poor McCarthy was just wallowing in the headlines. Sufficient unto the day was the headlines thereof. No, you're much brighter, much more ruthless.
I realize some of my methods upset a lot of people, particularly criminals.
Mr. President, if we hadn't been tough, we never would have cracked the mafia the way we did.
Now, what's so funny about that, sir?
Oh, nothing. Only you know, and I know, and everybody knows, with the possible exception of the TV audience, there weren't no mafia like you was talking. There's no such thing. You cooked them up.
So we're going to get that number, are we? Well, I'll have you know my records prove that there's a great...
You went after some Sicilian bandits on the Lower East Side of New York, and then you pretended that they was running crime in the whole country, which they are not. Of course, we got a pretty good idea who is, but you didn't go after them, did you? No, sir. Them big rascals is heavy contributors to the political campaigns.
Maybe Joe didn't go after all of them, sir.
No, he barely scratched the surface.
But you should talk. J. Edgar Hoover considered you the most morally lax president in his entire career.
I shall reserve my opinion of J. Edgar Hoover for a posthumous memoir. Perhaps for a time capsule to be dug up when he has finally cleansed the Republic of Undesirables.
Hoover is a great American.
We're all great Americans, Joe. Now look, I do not disapprove of your headline grabbing and of your shouting wolf all the time. That's standard stuff in politics. But it disturbs me the way you take yourself so serious. It's par for the course to fool the public, but it's downright dangerous when you start fooling yourself.
Mr. President, I take myself seriously because I am serious. This is important to me, to all of us, which is why I don't want any little lectures from you on how to be a statesman. And if you really want to know, the record of your administration is one of the heaviest loads our party has to carry.
Why, Mr. President, what a nice surprise you're dropping in on us like this.
Well, I was asked down here by this young man for a small conference. Now here he is filling my head with sweet nothings.
Joe admires you, I guess, more than any man in public life.
Mabel, honey, leave us alone. Thank you so much. Don?
All right, but you have to get dressed, Joe.
I will.
Well, you certainly look fine. Mr. President, after your little vacation in the hospital.
Well, fit as a fiddle, never felt better.
I'm sorry, sir, flying off the handle like that.
Oh, that's okay, I guess. You just had an attack of the pre-convention jitters. Now, I am assuming you did not ask me down here to discuss the virtues of J. Edgar Hoover.
No, sir, I did not. I know you don't like me.
Well, now that you mention it, I don't. Never have.
And I have never liked your kind of politician. But that's neither here nor there. And I don't expect you to come out for me tonight.
Well, I should warn you that I have occasionally endorsed a man I didn't like, even mistrusted, because I figured he could do the job.
So I have something to show you about your friend, William Russell. It's all right here in this file. I want you to look at it. What's the matter with you?
Nothing at all. I just took one of my happy pills to pep me up. You believe in God, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And hereafter, the day of judgment?
Oh, I do. If I didn't think there was some meaning to all this, I wouldn't be able to go on. I'm a very religious kind of guy, in a funny way.
Yeah, sure you are. Times like these, I wish I was. Dying is no fun, believe me, and that's what I'm doing.
Now, it's all here in this file. Everything. Don't ask me how I got it. My methods might have been ruthless, but I think for once you're going to agree the end was worth it.
What is this crap?
Several years ago, your candidate, William Russell, had what is known as a nervous breakdown.
I know that.
He was raving mad for almost
He was
a
not
year.
raving mad. It was exhaustion from overwork.
Yeah, that was the press release. The real story's right here.
I know the real story.
Then you know it's political dynamite. A full report of his mental state, how he deserted his wife, how their marriage has always been a phony, a political front.
I won't begin to speculate on how you got a hold of all this.
And all the big words are there too. Manic depressive, paranoid pattern, attempted suicide.
He never attempted suicide.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. It says right here that he did. See? There. Suicidal tendency.
We've all got suicidal tendencies. He never tried to kill himself.
But the point is, he could.
Well, you said he did.
No, I didn't say he did. I said he could. And then all that combined with playing around with women?
So what?
I suppose you find promiscuity admirable.
I couldn't care less. I was raised on a farm. The lesson of the rooster was not entirely lost on me. A lot of men hate a lot of women, and there's worse faults, believe me.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Simply that there's rumors about every man in public life. Hell, when I was in the Oval Office, they said I had paresis, and that I was supposed to be supporting this colored girl over in Alexandria. Silliest damn stories you ever heard, but a lot of people got a lot of pleasure talking about it. Back when the man Kinsey wrote that book on about how many men are doing this and how many men are doing that, and I was thinking at the time that along with this peculiar activity, there was one hell of a lot of nothing going on.
All right. Leaving the moral issue aside, do you think it a good idea to elect a man president who's mentally unstable?
He is not mentally unstable, and you know it.
Paranoid patterns, apt to crack up under stress.
So that's your little numbers.
If Russell doesn't withdraw before Wednesday, I am going to see that every delegate gets a copy of that report. And I'm going to challenge Russell openly. I'm going to ask him if he really feels that a man with his mental history should be president of the United States. Frankly, if I were he, I would pull out before this hits the fan.
Yeah, well, you ain't he, to just state the obvious. And he could say in rebuttal that after his breakdown, in a particularly rough period, he served as Secretary of the State and never showed the strain in any way.
One of the psychiatrists reports that this pattern of his it's bound to repeat itself. He's bound to have another breakdown.
Oh, you and your damn experts. You know as well as I do. Them head doctors will give you any kind of an opinion you want on any subject.
I realize that, which is why I am going to propose that he be examined before Wednesday by a group of nonpartisan psychiatrists to determine if he is sane.
You know he won't hold still for that.
Well, if he doesn't, that means he has something to hide.
Damn, you play rough, don't you?
Well, I consider this a public service. Look, I'm not asking for your support. I don't even want your support. But I do want you to think twice before endorsing a man who is known to be psychopathic.
And you got it all figured out. That even the hint that a man hit right in the head is enough to knock him off. When do you plan to throw this at it?
Tomorrow.
Of course. Of course. Wait till the last minute so he don't have a chance to clear himself before the convention. That's right smart.
Now, we're gonna have to work out some way for him to withdraw gracefully. I was thinking maybe he could say, nervous exhaustion, fatigues, doesn't feel up to the rigors of the campaign, you know, something like that.
And if he don't withdraw gracefully?
Well, that report will be circulated, and I will demand he be examined by a psychiatrist.
You realize, of course, that this opens you up to the same treatment?
Oh, well, I have nothing to hide in my private or my public life.
Are you absolutely certain?
Just try anything.
Well, now, looks like we got an ugly fight on our hands. Yes, sir, a real ugly fight. So now I'm going to let you have it. And when I'm through with you, young man, you'll know what it's like to be in the ring with an old-time killer. I'm going to have your political scalp, and I'm going to hang it on my belt along with a lot of others.
Don't mix with me, Hofstadter.
You can't touch me, but I can send you back to the insurance business. And to think that I was going to endorse you for president.
No, I don't believe that.
It ain't that I object to you being a bastard. Don't get me wrong. But you're being such a stupid bastard that I object to.
With a sensational shortening discovery for better baking and frying. It's Procter & Gamble's Golden Fluffle. All new shortening in 40 years. It's rich. Its color is golden yellow. And what a pie it makes. Richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing. But let's hear what Mrs. Thelma Siler, Indiana State Fair baking champion, had to say about Fluffle.
I love Fluffo. It makes such a golden brown pie.
Oh, man, that's some apple pie.
Well, Mr. Wallace, that's a prettier pie than I ever baked with plain white shortening. And look how flaky it is. This yellow Fluffo is such a short shortening. Makes pie crust so rich.
Like cooking champions, get richer looking, better tasting, more appetizing results in everything you bake or fry. Get Golden Fluffo.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow in the convention hall.
Well, we're going to nominate you on the first ballot tomorrow, and that's a promise.
If nominated, I will run. If elected, I will serve. Thanks.
We'll be in touch. Well, what do you think?
Looks all right. Nobody's mentioned mental health yet.
Well, what did you fellas think about Hofstadter's speech last night?
Senator Carlin, I thought you'd left.
No, just stayed to fix myself a snort if you don't mind. Now, about Hofstadter's speech last night?
Well, I was surprised as anybody.
You thought he was going to endorse you.
We certainly did.
And then the old man just got up and talked plain double talk.
Well, at least he didn't endorse Cantwell.
No, he didn't endorse nobody. For a minute, I thought he was going to surprise us and come after John Merwin just to be on there. Now, I hear you were with the old man later on last night. What's he up to? My boys think a lot of old art, and they'll go along with him.
We were having a council war, I guess you'd call it.
They say Joe's got something on you. Something pretty bad?
Something untrue. But frankly, I'm not very worried about it. I'm a lot more worried about the labor plank in the platform.
Christ, Bill, lay off labor. You've already got their vote, so don't be stirring up a lot of snakes. After all, you're the liberal candidate.
What is a liberal, Senator?
And I thought Adelaide Stevenson was a pain in the neck. A liberal is well, you, Bill Russell, are a liberal. That's what a liberal is, you.
According to the dictionary, a liberal is someone who favors changes and reforms tending in the direction of further democracy. Well, I am in favor of further democracy for the union's rank and file.
Bill, please. I'm just a poor dumb party hat.
I'm sorry, Senator. The terrible thing about running for president is you become a compulsive talker, forever answering questions no one has asked you.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you consider offering the vice president nomination to Cantwell?
No.
For a compulsive talker, you sure don't have much to say on that subject. Geez, I hate an open convention. You can't ever tell what's going to happen.
They're never that open.
I suppose we ought to try for a Catholic. That seems to be the big thing this year. We're second place at it. Bill, you've already got the nomination now, so leave the controversial things alone.
Can't help myself. I am driven by a mad demon, by some imp of the perverse. That is, I am compelled to say what I think.
Okay, but try to lay off stuff like Red China, especially when you know Henry Luce is an absolute nut on Red China, and you don't want to lose both time and life when they're already behind you in the interest of good governance and all that baloney. Once you're president, you can eat with chopsticks for all anyone cares.
I will be diplomatic.
You know, Cantwell's releasing a statement today to all the delegates. He says he'll knock you off.
We're ready for him. He may be the master of the half-truth and the insinuation, but we've got the facts.
And the whole truth?
No man has the whole truth.
Oh boy. Well, good luck, Bill. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. I'm with you 100%, in spite of your damn dictionary.
Thank you, Senator. Where's Dr. Artinian?
On his way from the airport.
And Hochstadter?
Talking to delegates. Bill, I finally got a line on Joe Cantwell. I dug up some real dirt.
Of all the stunts, this is the craziest. If you'll excuse my excessive use of words like mad and crazy.
Oh, you sure could have cut the air with a knife when you made that crack about being driven by a mad demon.
Well, they re-elected Eisenhower after a heart attack and an ileitis operation. Didn't seem to hurt him.
But there was never any question that his mind or judgment was affected. Bill, you may have to pull a Nixon.
What does pull a Nixon mean?
Go on TV, cry on the nation's shoulder, with 2 Cocker Spaniels.
And tell him I'm not crazy? No. I admit it's possible to look directly into a camera and promise to people I won't steal their money. But I promise you, you cannot look a camera directly in the face and say, honest, I'm not crazy. I just had a nervous breakdown like any regular fellow might. No, it won't work.
Why not?
Because it won't. And even if it did, I couldn't do it. I might laugh. It's too idiotic. How was the meeting?
Well, I gave a speech. At least I started to read the one DJ gave me, then halfway through I gave up and I made my own speech. And you know what? It was terrible. What's happened?
Dr. Artinian is on his way to Philadelphia. He's going to tell the press that I am not and never was insane.
It just gets worse and worse, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I've got to get back to work. Here, we've got Florida in 20 minutes and then one more go at California.
Send Dr. Artinian in the second he gets here.
Does this mean they can publish everything about us? Our marriage, everything?
Yes.
Will they?
I don't know. I think it's just a bluff right now to frighten me.
It frightens me. I should hate to think of the children reading all that about us. It's filthy. Filthy.
You want me to quit?
No. How very odd.
What?
Do you realize that's the first time you've touched me when there wasn't a camera or someone else in the room?
Well, here's your schedule. Your next appointment is... Oh my God, I forgot all about this.
I haven't. Mabel Cantwell and I face the press together. Can I get out of it?
No, better not.
And I'll get ready. It's in her suite. She made the point very tactfully over the phone that, according to protocol, the wife of a reigning senator outranks the wife of a former Secretary of State.
Well, bless my soul. Oh, Robert, I'm so glad you could get away like this. Dr. Artinian, President Hochstadter.
You Bill's head doctor?
That's right. I'm a great admirer of yours, Mr. President.
Well, I ain't no great admirer of yours. How come you people don't keep your damn files where nobody can get at them?
Well, sir, we do.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, we thought we did. Apparently, someone in Cantwell's office bribed one of our nurses. They got the entire case history.
Robert, in 1 hour, Cantwell is releasing that file on me. Now, I know this sounds silly, but when he does,
I want you to meet the press and tell them that I am not mentally unstable.
Well, of course I will. You don't know how guilty I feel about this.
He is all right, ain't he?
Mr. President, Bill Russell is one of the sanest men I've ever known.
Yeah, well then what the hell is all this about suicidal tendencies? Manic schmanic or whatever you call it.
Just technical phrases, which may sound sinister to a layman, but he is certainly not a manic depressive. Mr. President, the fact is anybody's psychological profile can be made to sound, well, damaging.
In the South, a candidate for sheriff once won election by claiming that his opponent's wife had been a thespian.
We'll find a room for you, Doctor, and I'll get someone to help you with your statement.
Thank you, thank you. I've brought along the Institute's lawyer with me. By way of making amends, Bill, we're filing suit against Cantwell for theft.
Well, hey, that's the ticket. Go to it, Doc.
I'll be ready when you want.
Many thanks, Robert.
Bill, I want you to myself for a minute. Now, what is this I hear about you ain't going onto the TV?
I can't.
Well, how are you going to fight this thing if you don't?
Dr. Artinian is going to meet...
Dr. Artinian, that's one doctor. They'll say he's a friend of yours. Joe Cantwell is going to insist on you being examined by half of the medical profession between now and tomorrow. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, Bill, I feel wonderful. I'll tell you something. There is nothing like a low-down, dirty political fight to put roses in my cheeks.
How do you feel?
Oh, $1 million. Now, there's some of the delegates are suspecting that something is up. They don't know what.
Why didn't you endorse me last night?
Well, now, Bill, this ain't easy to say, but I guess you might as well know. I've come to Philadelphia to endorse Joe Cantwell.
I knew that.
You did? How?
Prince Hamlet has second sight. He sees motives as well as ghosts upon the battlements.
Well, I guess I wasn't as tricky as I thought I was.
Did you decide to help me now because of what Joe's doing, bringing up that breakdown business?
No. No, as a matter of fact, speaking as a professional politician, I'm kind of proud of what he's doing. It's real smart. No, Joe Cantwell lost me because he wasn't smart. He made a mistake. He thought I was endorsing you when I wasn't. You got the message, he didn't. Now that's a bad mistake, and it shows you don't understand character. And the president, if he understands nothing else, has got to understand people. And then Joe gets flustered when I needle him. A president don't get flustered when a man gives him a needle. He keeps a straight face, like poker, like you're doing now. But what does Cantwell do? He don't run scared, he runs terrified. Fires off a cannon to kill a bug. Now that is a dumb mistake, and I intend to do him in. Which means, I guess, that you are our next president.
President, yeah, but by default, because you still have your doubts about me.
Yeah, I got some doubts. I want a strong president.
An immoral president?
Well, they don't hardly come in any other side.
You don't believe that.
This is Sheldon Marcus.
Who the hell is Sheldon Martin? Oh, excuse me,
Oh. No, that's all right.
Yeah.
God, I never thought I'd meet a president before. God, I'm sorry, my hands sweat. I'm so nervous. You see, I just came in from Wilmington, where I live. Well, outside Wilmington, actually. It's a little suburb.
What's this all about? I'm Bill Russell.
Oh.
Mr. Marcus served in the Army with Joe Cantwell.
Oh, the Army! Well, hey, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, what was it? Was Joe in the Ku Klux Klan? Or the Communist Party? Or did he run away when the guns went off?
Oh, no, sir, Mr. President, sir, we weren't anywhere around where there were guns.
They were in the Aleutians, the Isle of Adak, the quartermaster tour?
Yeah, we were there for a year. Well, more like 18 months for me and 16, 17 months for Joe. See, he got there in February of 43.
DJ, what are you trying to prove?
Yeah, no, easy, Bill. Listen to the dirt, whatever the hell it is.
Well, Joe Count, you know, I sure hate talking about him, you know, saying something so awful.
I had a line on this months ago, and I finally tracked it down. Tell them, Mr. Marcus.
Yes, ma'am.
Please do.
Well, Joe Cantwell was a captain, and I was a captain. And Joe Cantwell was, well, you know how it is. There's all those men living together and no...
And no female companionship?
Right, though we had some nurses a little later on, but not enough to make much of a difference. You know, I mean, you know, I think there's all those men living together.
And no women.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Dorothy, stop it, will you?
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We know Joe isn't that, and even if he was, so what?
Yes, I'm very interested in what you're saying, Mr. Marcus. Captain Marcus, I should say.
I was a major, actually. Yeah, I was promoted just before my discharge in 46. I'm in the reserve now. Well, the inactive reserve. But you know, if there's another war...
All right, you're a major. Good for you. Now, am I supposed to conclude, from the way you are slowly beating about the bush, that Joe Cantwell is what, when I was a kid, we called a degenerate?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Sir, that's exactly what I mean.
I don't believe it. Nobody with that awful wife and those ugly children can be anything but normal.
Whether you believe it or not is beside the point.
And even if it were true, I'm damned if I'm going to smear him with something like that.
Oh, Bill, I, like you, am a tolerant man. Now, I don't care if Joe Cantwell likes to deflower sheep by the light of the full moon. I am interested in finding something that'll stop him cold.
Damn it, Art, this is exactly the kind of thing I went into politics to stop. This business of gossip instead of issues, personalities instead of policies. We've got enough on Cantwell's public life to defeat him without going into his private life, which is nobody's business.
No more than yours is.
No more than mine is.
Yeah, but Cantwell is using your private life.
All the more reason for me not using his. I'm not Cantwell.
Well, nobody's used anything yet.
Look, you are not my campaign manager. I'm the one running for president, not you. And as for you...
Bill, at least listen to the man.
No.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I'm trying to help the wrong team.
Perhaps you are. Perhaps you'd be happier with Cantwell helping him throw his money. All right, I'm sorry.
I expect you observed how I kept a straight face while being insulted.
You know, I only meant that...
Yeah. I know what you meant. Now, look, Bill. As a favor to an old man in his sunset years, will you just listen to the Major? That's all. Just listen.
All right, I'll listen. But only as a favor to a friend.
Well, that's great. Now you just relax and we'll let events take their course. I mean, how often does $1 million fall on your lap? Not to mention the presidency. Sit down, Major. Sit down and make yourself comfortable. I'm going to build you a drink with these skillful old fingers, and while I am doing that, you are going to tell us your story. Omit no details, however sordid.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. President, there was this guy on ADAC. His name was Fenn. Bob Fenn. Oh, that is to say, Robert Fenn. I don't know what his middle initial is, but I guess it's all there in the report. How this Lieutenant Fenn.
enough. Our girls have got a lot to do.
Mrs. Russell, where are your sons now?
Well, one is in Watch Hill and the other is traveling. He's in Europe. I wish now we had them here for the experience.
Oh, I blinked my eyes. Joe and I were going to bring our girls to Philadelphia, but then we decided no. This sort of thing is just too hectic for children.
Mrs. Russell, how's Mr. Russell today?
He's just fine.
There is a rumor that he has not been in the very best of health.
I have never seen him in better health.
My Joe just blossoms during a campaign, on the go all the time. I don't know where he gets the energy.
In fact,
Joe
my
Cantwell is a real dynamo.
In fact, my husband.
I sometimes think Joe has nerves of iron. Nothing ever seems to upset him.
He has a great inner calm, which is almost spiritual.
My husband was saying.
Okay, fellas, that's it. Let's go.
What do you think's going to happen tomorrow? Do you think Mr. Russell's got it on the first ballot?
I certainly hope so.
Well, as for me, I only hope the best man wins. I mean, for the country and everything.
Amen to that.
Good day, ladies.
Oh, that was no deal, wasn't it, Mrs. Russell?
I'm sure it wasn't for you. I mean, you've done so much of this kind of thing. I have to go.
Oh, stay and have a drink, just for a minute. I don't have anything to do until 4:15, so let's play hooky.
I'm afraid I have an appointment in 15 minutes.
They have us girls on timetables like trains. Well, you look at me all ready to moderate the fashion show at 5 o'clock.
It's a shame we can't do everything together. Instead of first you talking to one group and then me talking to the same group, what can I fix you?
Nothing, thanks. It's too early for me.
Well, didn't Art Hochstadter surprise everybody last night?
Personally, I think he's no meanie the way he's holding out. And you know why? Publicity. He absolutely revels in the limelight. Oh, Mrs. Russell, I don't believe you've seen my children.
I've seen pictures of them. They're very pretty.
That's Gladys there, the oldest, with the braces on her teeth. I'm afraid they're all going to have braces. Lord knows where they got those teeth from. Both Joe and I have perfect teeth. Oh, what a fortune it is having children's teeth straightened. Do you have any pictures of your boys?
No, not on me.
So good looking.
Oh, yes, that was a nice spread on them in life. Such warm pictures. You and Mr. Russell certainly get a lot of coverage from life, much more than we do.
Oh, I thought we were neck and neck.
No, I'm afraid Joe and I must simply forget Mr. Luce. You're his candidate for the time being. Come on, sit down. You know, I like the way you do your hair.
Oh, well.
You look so like an English teacher I had at State College. A wonderful woman in every way.
Thank you, but I'm not wonderful.
Oh, now, no false modesty. You are wonderful and courageous. I always say Alice Russell is the most courageous woman in public life. Don't I, Sue Ellen?
In what way courageous?
Oh, why, that committee you were on.
Committee? What committee?
Oh, you know, in New York City. The one where you did all that work for birth control.
Birth control? I didn't know about that.
Well, it was 20 years ago, and I'm not supposed to mention it now, as you know.
Well, I should hope not. You'll have the Catholics down on us like a ton of bricks. The rhythm cycle, yes. Anything else is out.
Of course, I'm against any kind of artificial birth control, except where it's a matter of health, maybe. But believe me, I think it took the courage of a lion to be in favor of people using those contraceptive things when you're in public life. Of course, you didn't know back then your husband would be running for president one day, and when you do that, you just can't afford to offend a lot of nice people who vote.
I realize that. We must offend no one. But if you offend no one, you don't please anyone very much either, do you? But I suppose that's an occupational hazard in politics. We're all interchangeably inoffensive.
Well, now...
Hooray for Mrs. Russell! You know you sounded just like your husband then, didn't she, Sue Ellen? Didn't she sound just like Bill Russell when he's being all witty and profound and way over our poor heads?
I'd like to think intelligence is contagious, but I'm afraid it isn't. At least in my case, anyway. Bill has the brains. I'm not awfully quick.
Oh, yes, you are, honey.
I really have to go.
You girls are an absolute inspiration to the American woman. I really mean it, each in your different ways.
Thank you very much for that.
Oh, by the way, how is Mr. Russell's health? I mean, really, I thought he looked so peaked at the dinner last night. And
The reporters are gone, Mrs. Cantwell, and you know as well as I that he is perfectly all right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, listen to her. The reporters are gone, Mrs. Cantwell. If she wasn't so high and mighty, she might take the hint and start saying right now he wasn't feeling good. So when he has to pull out, there'd be some preparation.
Mabel, I don't like anything about what Joe's doing. It's plain dirty. And I should warn you, I'm a loyal party worker. And I'll see that the women are all behind Bill Russell.
Underman is more their usual position. It's just sex, 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 morning, noon, and night with that Bill Russell.
Mabel, if you weren't in the room, how would you know?
I read that report. Bill Russell is neurotic who's had a breakdown, and his sex life is certainly not normal. Sleeping around with all those women is just plain immature. We don't want an immature president, do we?
We've had some very good presidents who've slept around a whole lot more than Bill Russell ever did. And in the White House, too.
Here come the men.
And I must get back to the women. Oh, Senator Carlin, hello. I didn't expect to find you
Just
here.
happen to be in the neighborhood.
Hi, Sue Ellen.
Joe, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and tell you right now, anything to do with private life is out in politics.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
It is an unwritten law, and it's a good one. When you throw at a man that he has a mistress or an illegitimate child or something like that, you get sympathy for him. I don't know why, but you do. You also make yourself more vulnerable because nobody's a saint, Joe. Not even you. So just keep what you men do in bed, out of politics. Bye, Joe. Bye, Clyde. Don. Oh, bye-bye, Mabel.
Photostats ready?
All neatly bound. 600 copies to be released to the delegates at 3:30 p.m. Russell's doctor's in town. That means there's going to be some kind of a statement.
Oh, they're gonna fight. Yeah.
Aren't you fellas afraid of getting into trouble stealing medical records?
We didn't steal it.
They were given to us pro bono publico. Now just look at this. Mabel, hey!
Yes? Who? Oh, Dorothy Jensen. Yes, Joe's here. Just a sec. You hold on now. Oh, honey, this is it. They're giving up.
Hi, Dorothy. How's the girl? Well, gosh, I don't see how we can delay much longer. I mean, I've already told everybody 3:30. Of course, I was sort of hoping Bill would be helpful, you know, for the party's sake. He could pull out so easily now based on this health issue. Yeah, well, frankly, I don't see any point to postponing. Do I know who? Sheldon Marcus. Nope, don't think I do. Where? I want to see Russell right now. We'll try and make that work. I'll be right here.
Well, honey, what did you say? Come on, give it to TL.
You aren't going to meet with Russell, are you? I thought we decided.
Hold that stuff on Russell.
Hold it, but we can't. We promised the delegates 3:30. We said.
And I said, hold it.
Joe, what's happening?
Senator, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, sure. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Cantwell. You know where to find me after 3:30.
Go on, stop that stuff on Russell!
Okay, you're the boss.
Joe, what did she say to you? What are they doing to you? It's not like... It's not... Oh, my God.
cream. No matter what you do, you'll do better with Brill Cream, the cream hairdressing for smart, clean hair grooming. Brill Cream is different, not greasy, not messy. Really, not greasy, not messy. And with massage, Brill Cream conditions as it grooms. Instantly improves your appearance, makes your hair look richer, healthier.
With Brill Cream, anything can happen. Watch.
Brill Cream, Brill Cream, Brill Cream, Brill Cream, a little dab will do ya. Brill Cream, don't sit there. Brill Cream, the gals whispers to ya. Simply rub a little in your hair. Brill Cream is the world's largest selling hairdressing. Over 60 million packages sold a year. Remember, the smart look is the Brill Cream look.
You should have heard Cantwell's voice. First time I have ever heard him stuck. He wants to see you. So I told him 3:30 and he agreed without a peep. That means no announcement to the delegates.
Mr. Marcus, I want to thank you. I know that this must be as distasteful to you as it is to us.
Oh, yes, it is. My wife, Peggy, when I told her that I'd spoken with Miss Jensen and that I was coming here to speak with you, she was fit to be tied. She knows the whole story. I tell her everything. Yeah, Mrs. Marcus and me, we have no secrets.
Yes. Well, many thanks.
Would you wait for me, please, in my office? That's just across the hall, second door to the left.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, I guess this is the biggest moment of my life, Mr. President, meeting you.
I suppose it is the biggest moment, Major. You may have changed history.
Oh, I tell you one thing, I never thought when Joe and I were back on ADAC that 16 years later we'd be here in this hotel with him running for president and me talking to you, sir, who I have always admired. Though I didn't vote for you the second time. No, my wife felt that your policies were...
Let your vote, Major Marcus, remain between you and your God.
Yes, sir. I'll remember that, sir. I really will. I won't have to see Joe, will I?
We hope
No,
not.
because he's got this temper. It's bad. It's like stepping on a snake, stepping on Joe.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. I'll see you in just a moment. We've done it, Bill. We've stopped Joe Cantwell.
I'm not going to use this.
Of course you're not, except in private. We just take this to Joe and say, if you make an issue out of this breakdown, we'll make an issue out of a bit of court-martial testimony.
Mrs. Rosen, can you guys answer a few questions?
Alice, how did it go?
Well, my cheeks hurt from smiling for the cameras. But I must say, I'm beginning to like politics, Mr. President, especially when Mrs. Gamage says that I'm an inspiration to American women in my way.
You're an inspiration to me, Miss Alice. Excuse me not getting up, but would you fetch me some branch water? Just plain branch water.
Of course. Well, first we talked about Mabel's children, then we talked about my children, then we discussed women's role in politics. We both agreed that women's true place is in the home.
I'm sure Mrs. Gamage was eloquent on that subject.
Eloquent to the point of obsession. We also agreed that women should be informed about issues.
Worst thing ever happened in this country, giving women the vote. Trouble. There's no more gumption than a gaggle of geese. Give them a big smile and a pinch on the anatomy, and you got 10 votes.
May I quote you on that, Mr. President?
I will deny ever having made such a vile and un-American statement. Thank you, ma'am.
Finally, there were some pointed references about your health.
Which means they've started. Mentally unstable, have to crack up, already showing signs of strain. As a matter of fact, I am showing signs of strain.
You can stop them, Bill. Right now. We've got the ultimate weapon. Massive retaliation, as Foster Dulles used to say. We have a visitor.
Gentlemen, Mr. President.
Mr. Blades, contrary to what you've been told, I am not seeing Joe Cantwell.
No, but I thought you were. I thought Joe said you'd meet in his room because there aren't so many reporters down there.
I said we'd be right down, Bill.
You did.
So I came up to work out some way of getting the secretary downstairs without anybody seeing him. I checked the service elevator.
Jensen, you and the hatchet man try the bathroom room. That's through the bedroom and into the next suite and on down.
Okay, Mr. President, but if the secretary isn't going downstairs...
Get moving, both of you.
Come on, Don, this is the dry run.
Bill,
I'm not going to do this.
you've got to.
Do what?
Well, he's got the stuff to knock off Joe Cantwell. And your lily-livered husband won't go through with it.
You mean you can keep them from bringing up all of this mental business?
Maybe.
Definitely.
Then do it.
But you don't know what it is that I have to do?
I don't care. If you took a gun and shot him, I would help you if I thought it meant keeping our lives private.
That's a girl. You listen to her, Bill. She don't run from a fight.
You know I'm not afraid.
Then what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you hesitating now?
Look, I'm not being righteous and I'm not being fastidious and I do want to win, but how can I in all conscience do something like this, even against Cantwell?
Oh, I should have stuck with Cantwell. Listening to you hem and haw and talk about your conscience is driving me away from you real fast. My God, what would happen if you was in the White House, had to make a decision? Maybe our lives depend on fast action, and you stand there, like you're standing there now, having a high old time with your divided conscience.
I am not divided! I know what I should do, and this is not it.
Then you do not want to be king of the castle. So stay away from us. Be a saint on your own time, because you ain't fit to lead nobody.
Why? Because I don't fire off a cannon to kill a bug? Because I don't have that quick, mindless reaction that you seem to confuse with strength? Well, believe me, there is more to fear from a president who acts with animal reflex than one who is willing to reflect before he acts, who has some vestigial moral sense that goes beyond himself. Don't you see? If I start to fight like Cantwell, I lose all meaning.
If you do not start to fight, you are finished. Now you listen to me. Power is not a toy we give to good children. It is a weapon, and the strong man takes it and he uses it, and I promise you he don't turn it on himself. And he don't allow another man to come at him with a knife for when he fights back. Now if you do not go down there and drive Cantwell into the ground with this very dirty stick, then you do not belong in the big leagues. Bastard or no bastard, I'll help Cantwell take the whole damn world if he wants it, because it ain't for you, and it never will be.
Well, the coast is clear. We're all set.
First, we passed through a suite containing a hosiery salesman and a woman, perhaps not his wife.
Definitely not his wife. He looks forward to meeting you, although he hopes Cantwell gets the nomination. His companion betrayed no intimacy of the names of either candidate.
Then we go down the back stairs through a room occupied by a widow from Bangor, Maine, who is for Russell.
From there, we go through the Cantwell bathroom, and then they meet and make history.
That's right, though what's going on beats me.
This is your chance. Your last chance. Take it. Go down there. I want a strong president who will keep us alive a while longer.
Wait for me in there.
How are you feeling, Mr. President?
Oh, just fine, considering the alternative.
And so, one by one, these compromises, these small corruptions destroy character.
What in power is corruption already? My God, you hate yourself for being human.
Oh, I only want to be human, and it is not easy. Once this sort of thing starts, there is no end to it, which is why it should never begin. And once I start ours, well, how does it end, this sort of thing? Where does it end?
In the grave, son, where the dust is neither good nor bad, but only nothing.
You are
good man, Mr. President.
Yes, I reckon I am. All said and done.
But I don't know if this is the right thing for Bill to do.
Well, build a fire under the candidate. I hope it don't go out. Now, Miss Ellis, do not be alarmed, but I want you to go to that telephone and ask for Dr. Latham. He's in the hotel. Tell him I'm here. Tell him to come quick, the back way. Tell him to bring a stretcher because I can't move. I'm afraid the old man is just about dead.
Alka-Seltzer invents a new disease, the blahs. The blahs is kind of like the blues, only physical. It's when you're down in the dumps and you don't know a cold is working on you. It's when you're not feeling right, but you don't know what's wrong. It might be a headache on its way, a stomachache on its way. The blahs, who needs them? You know, we wouldn't have invented a disease unless we had something to take for it. Alka-Seltzer. If Alka-Seltzer can take care of real big upsets, think of what it can do for a simple case of the blahs.
Yes, that's right. The name is Conyers, General Conyers. C-O-N-Y-E-R-S. Yes, this is Senator Cantwell. Yes, it's an emergency, but we can't find him.
Oh, but he's got to be there.
Well, try his quarters then. Damn it.
Are you sure General Conyers will back you up?
Well, he better. But isn't there a telephone anywhere near there? He's playing golf. All right. Tell him as soon as you find him to call Senator Cantwell in Philadelphia. The number is Walnut 87593. You got it? Thank you.
But you've got to talk to him before they come down here.
No, it's too late now. Maybe it's just as well. Let me think. We got Conyers and the delegates. Sheldon Markins. Yes, Sheldon Markins.
Oh, Joe, I'm scared to death.
Well, don't be. Come here, poor Mama Bear, and don't you worry. Papa Bear isn't going to get shot down this close to the honey tree.
But I just don't know how they can use something like this, which is so untrue, which is such a dirty lie, and everyone knew it was a lie even at the time. Oh, how I hate politics.
Oh, no. Hey, Conyers! Hello, yes. Oh, hello, Mrs. Russell. Yes, this is Joe Cantwell. Yeah, no, Bill isn't here yet. I guess he's still on his way down. What? Oh, well, that's awful. And you say he's... Yes, of course I'll tell Bill the second he gets here. Yes, thank you. Yes, he's a great guy. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye, Mrs. Russell. Art Hochstetter just collapsed. They've taken him to the hospital. He's dying.
Dying? But I thought...
I guess that hernia stuff was a lot of bull.
Oh, well, what's that going to do to us, his dying now?
Find out what hospital he's at. Not a word about Hochstetter. I don't want anything to upset this meeting.
Well, here we are.
It was touch and go there for a while, but nobody saw us.
Well, now. Will you look at that? I tell you, they look just like two wild animals at the zoo. Well, come on, somebody say something. It's just politics, that's all. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything.
Yet.
I had such a nice visit with your wife, Mr. Russell. She's getting to be a real campaigner, isn't she? Can I get you a drink or anything? We got just about everything here. We got gin and scotch and bourbon and branch water like President Hockstetter used to.
Oh, I don't think we want a drink, Mabel.
No, thank you.
Well, in that case, I believe we better make ourselves scarce on.
Let me know when you're ready to go back upstairs.
Is Sheldon Marcus in this hotel?
Yes.
Could I see him? I'd like to ask him some questions in front of you, if that's all right.
I'll bring him down.
Well, I guess you two boys want to be alone. You go easy on my Joe now, who's the best husband that ever was, ever. Well, goodbye now. Joe, if you need me, I'll be in Sue Ellen Gamage's room. We're having us a real old-time hen fest this afternoon with all of the governor's wives.
All right. Well, Bill, here we are. The main event, as they say.
The main event, and here we stand, as Martin Luther said.
I'm sorry, have a seat, please.
And it is not safe to move.
I'm sorry, who said what?
Martin Luther said it is not safe to move. Luther was the...
Now, you don't have to tell me who Martin Luther was. I happen to be a Protestant. I'm a very religious kind of guy, Bill.
You don't have to tell me that, Joe.
You really do think you're better than the rest of us, don't you? With your bad jokes, your admiration of a whole lot of bleeding heart fellow travelers who don't mean a thing in this country and would be intellectuals.
That was very good, Joe. Pure Cantwell, known as the multiple lie. Or in this case, the multiple lie plus confused statement. For instance, you say that I think I'm better than the rest.
Well, you don't.
Excellent. Interrupt before the answer even begins. That's vintage Cantwell.
Well, I'm not interested in your sophistry, your contempt, your...
Mr. Chairman! Point of order! Ha ha! Oh, how are you going to keep them down in the Senate once they've been on TV?
That's cute. I like that. That's funny. You should have your own TV show.
Thank you. I'm sure you meant that as a compliment. Joe, I came down here to try to convince you that there are some things a man cannot do, even in politics.
Now, I have given you every hint, every opportunity in the past 2 days to pull out of this race gracefully. Considering your medical history, it could be done so easily, so logically. All you'd have to do is claim exhaustion, fatigue, like the last time. Then none of this ugly business would come up. And the party could then unite behind its candidate.
You?
And we take the election in November.
You make it sound so simple, but it isn't. For one thing, you'll be sued for the theft of my case history.
Bill, now.
But that isn't the point.
Now, Bill.
What I want you to realize is that...
Bill, I didn't steal it. It was given to me, unsolicited. Anyway, I'm sure your doctor won't file suit if you ask him not to.
Why should I ask him not to?
Party unity. What's the point of smearing me when I'm the one who's got to get us into the White House?
What makes you so certain you're going to be nominated?
Because I expect you to withdraw. Because you have no choice. And then who else is there except me?
You are amazing. I came down here with enough political nitroglycerin to not only knock you out of the race, but out of politics altogether. And there you sit and blandly tell me that I'm the one to withdraw.
I also promised to use you once I'm elected. And that's a solemn promise, Bill. You can have any post in the cabinet you want, except in Secretary of State, where I'm all caught up with somebody else there. Or you can go as our first ambassador to Red China. That's right. You'll be happy to know I intend to recognize Red China. Though I won't make some big issue of it until public...
Never defend, always attack. You're very good at this, Joe. I mean that.
Another thing you want to know, since you made such a point about it in your attacks on me. Politically, we're almost the same on every important issue, only I am less reckless than you. I believe in timing. I don't see anything to be gained by launching a policy just to have it shot down, maybe for good, because the climate wasn't right.
And you call that leadership?
Well, there are many ways of leading. The worst one is making brilliant speeches on the right side at the wrong time. I know how to wait.
Well, you are candid.
And I'm right. Because I was born to this. You weren't. I know in my bones how to do this thing. I understand the people of this country because I am one of them. I know how to maneuver and how to win. I knew from the time I won my first election that I was going to be president of the United States and nobody was going to stop me. Not even the brilliant, aristocratic, intellectual William Russell, who has no more to do with the people of this country than I have to do with that Groton Harvard Wall Street set.
Well, there is no immediate need to start a class war. I am not better qualified to be president because I went to Harvard than you are because you worked your way through a state college. But as you probably know, there is a certain suspicion of the self-made man these days. People aren't as naive as you think. Any man who fights his way to the top is certainly to be admired, but the people sometimes wonder, how exactly did he do it? And whom did he hurt along the way? The self-made man often makes himself up out of the pieces of his victims. You are something of a Frankenstein monster, Joe, made out of the bits and pieces of Sicilian bandits and your political opponents, all assembled before our eyes on television.
How I was made is not the question. What matters is I am here.
And you think that your basic public image has changed?
It has. According to the last Gallup poll, only 12% of the people even remember that there was a mafia hearing.
I remember.
The image they have of Cantwell is the way I am now.
Smooth, cautious, beyond reproach.
Well, that is right. People forget. Look, nobody's going to get any mileage out of my past, so let's put this solution business behind us. I'm going to question your Sheldon Marcus now, and you are going to get the surprise of your life.
Nothing you do ever surprises me, Joe. What I do, however, is beginning to surprise me. I never thought I could bring up something like this against any man. It revolts me.
Come on, don't give it a second thought. Look, I don't blame you. If I had it against you, I'd certainly use it.
That's the point. You would, I wouldn't. I never thought I would.
Well then, what are you doing here if you don't... What have you got this clown Marcus standing by for except to smear me as a homosexual, which I am not?
I never said you were.
Then what are you doing here if you don't think I am?
Had you paused at any point in your offensive, I would have told you why I'm here and what I mean to do.
I hope you realize you just admitted that you don't
Joe.
believe this accusation against
Joe.
me. You're openly...
Joe, shut up! Art Hochstetter was right when he said you didn't have any sensitivity towards people. You're so busy trying to win, you never stop to figure out what it is you're winning.
I am only trying to stick to the issue at hand. I don't believe in indulging in personality.
Oh, come off it, Joe. I came down here to try to convince you to drop that nonsense against me, just as I mean to drop this nonsense against you. These things are irrelevant and dishonest, not to mention untrue. They cancel each other out. So I wish you would. Please join me by not indulging in personalities. I'll tear this up and send Sheldon Marcus back where he came from if you drop that business against me.
I see. You came here to make a deal with me.
No, I came here to talk to issues.
It makes perfect sense what you're doing. And I have no hard feelings. Really. I mean it. So don't be apologetic.
You have no feelings, I would say.
Well, perhaps you have too many. Perhaps you are too emotional. That report on your breakdown said you might have thought of committing suicide.
Who hasn't thought of it?
Well, I never have. I don't think the president should, no matter how tough the going is.
Am I to understand that you are trying to save the country from me? That you are genuinely concerned I'm unstable?
You just admitted you thought of committing suicide.
And Joe, if I'm so unstable, why did you just offer me the ambassadorship to Red China?
A president keeps tabs on an ambassador. Nobody keeps tabs on the president.
Never pause for an answer in the best tradition of the television performer. Very well, let's get this thing over with. I won't throw my mud if you won't throw your mud.
And then we go into the convention tomorrow, and you get nominated on the first ballot? Oh, that's not good. No.
Well then, good luck. And may the best man win. Assuming we don't knock each other off and the party.
Now, Bill, wait a minute, Bill. I realize we've got to come to some kind of agreement here, and I'm willing to prove...
Stop it! Either we declare my moratorium on mud or we both let it fly.
Okay. Don, send Mr. Marcus in, please. May I see that court-martial testimony? Thank you. Hey, Shelley, how's the boy? Long time no see.
Yeah, Joe, long time. Hello again, Mr. Russell.
Joe wants to ask you some questions.
Oh, well, you know, I really ought to be getting back to Wilmington. You see, my wife,
You
Peggy,
live in Wilmington, huh? Well, that's a great town. I used to have some cousins there named Everly, Jack and Helen Everly. Maybe you know them, they're in real estate.
I don't live in Wilmington proper. It's a suburb where I live. I don't know anybody named Everly.
Well, Shelley, you put on a lot of weight.
Oh. Yes, Peggy. My wife, Peggy, it's her cooking. She's a wonderful cook. I thought, Mr. Russell, that I wasn't going to have to...
What, to see your old buddy? You wouldn't have to see your old buddy? Now, you know, I would have been fit to be tied had I known Shelley Marcus from ADAC was in town and hadn't come to see me.
Well, I know how busy you guys are. Both you men are running for this president thing, and look, I was just passing by.
And you thought you'd pause just long enough to smear your old buddy?
Don't get mad at me, Joe. It was my duty.
To get even with me for seeing that you were passed over for promotion because of incompetence. Always a good idea to start with motive.
Is this true?
No, I mean, not really. My efficiency report
can be found in Army records. Unsatisfactory. You see, I was the adjutant up there, and I personally stopped his promotion and his transfer, and he knew it. Now, on 6 April 1944, into my Quonset hut at the Army base at ADAC, there moved a Lieutenant Finn.
Finn, that's the one I was telling you about, Mr. Russell. He was, you know.
We shared the same hut for 3 months.
That's right, just the two of them. They were, you know.
Finn was caught with an enlisted man in flagrante delicto on the afternoon of 14 June 1944 in the back of the post church. The MP's caught.
That's right, and Finn, that's when he broke down and he told about everything and everybody. You see, the MPs had laid a trap for him. They'd been tipped off by the
Advocate General.
That's right, by Colonel Conyers. See, he was the one that finally broke up this whole ring of degenerates. And Finn, when he was caught, he gave maybe 20 or 30 names, and one of them was Joe Campbell, his roommate.
Correct. Now, what happened to those 28 officers and men named at this court-martial?
They were separated from the service. Section 8, we called it. For the good of the service. They were kicked out.
All except one.
That's right. Yeah, I'll accept you.
And why wasn't I?
I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I guess it's all there in the report, you know. But I do remember thinking at the time what a lot of us thought. How Joe must have pulled some pretty fancy wires to save his own neck. Oh, yeah, he's a real operator. He can get out of anything, and that's the truth. Anyway, it's all right there in the report how he was named under oath by Lieutenant Fenn.
Where's Lieutenant Fenn now?
Dead.
Yeah, he died in a plane crash after the war. Hey, you remember that one? It was in Detroit, in the lightning. It hit the engine and everything.
If you were innocent, why did Fenn name you?
Because I'm the one who turned him in.
You were?
This clown wouldn't know, but I'm ashamed of you, Bill, for not doing your homework, for not checking with a certain colonel, now Major General Conyers, who was the Advocate General up there. You see, Shelley, when I found out what was going on, I went to Finn and I told him what I had discovered about my roommate. We laid a trap for Finn and he fell into it. At the trial, I gave secret evidence against him, and that's why he named me in revenge. And that's why no action was ever or could ever be taken against me. I even got promoted on the strength of having helped clear those types out of our command.
No, I bet that isn't true. I like he does everything else. I know Joe Cantwell.
Can you prove this?
A few minutes ago, I just got off the phone with the Advocate General. His name's Conyers. He lives in Colorado. He told me he would back me up in every way. Well, here's his name and number, Bill. He's expecting a call from you. Now, Shelley Marcus, if you ever say one word about this to anybody, I'll have you up for
don't
libel.
you threaten me, Joe.
Criminal
Don't.
libel. And I will personally involve you in that whole business.
Don't you bully me, Joe. Don't you try to intimidate me.
You wish you
Senator Gamble, please answer your questions.
Sure was good to see you, Shelley. Next time when you drop by, bring the wife. Bring Peggy. Yeah, bring Peggy. Mabel and I'd love to meet her. Love to see you both. Now you come see us in Washington. You hear? How's this, boys? There we go.
Hey, Senator Gamble,
Sorry to disappoint you, Bill, but this won't work. I'm covered on every side. You're not going to be able to make this thing stick for 2 minutes. You're not going to be able to make any of this stick. And I should also warn you, this is the kind of desperate, last-minute smear that always backfires on the guy who uses it. You ask Art Hochstetter, he'll tell you. Well, go on. If you don't believe me, you got Conyers' number in your hand. Use it.
True, false. We've both gone beyond the truth now. We're in dangerous country.
Every word I said was true.
You are worse than a liar. You have no sense of right or wrong, only what will work. Well, this is going to work.
But you're not going to use that now.
Oh, yes. I'll use anything against you. I can't let you be president.
Now, Bill, you can't use that. Listen, look, it's too, honest to God, nobody will believe it. It's too dirty. Honest to God, nobody will believe it. Well, go ahead then, Russell. It's your funeral. Against me, you haven't got a chance. Send dog blades in here. Keep trying on that Colorado call.
Well, what happened? Where's Russell? Joe? Hey, Joe.
Don, hi.
What's Russell up to? What's this all about? What's he got on him?
You know what that guy said to me just now? He said, he said I wasn't sensitive about other people. He said I didn't understand character.
Is that what he came down here for, to give you a lecture?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I've got news for him. I'm a very good judge of character. Oh, you can release that stuff on Russell now. 1 copy to every delegate. Dawn, we're home free. I'll make you a bet. Russell quits before the first ballot.
This is Don Lewis. Release the doctor's report,
Hi, kids. Look at some delicious magic with the extra good chocolate flavored syrup, Bosco. Watch. Take ice cream, spoon on extra rich, extra thick, extra chocolatey Bosco syrup. There's the best chocolate flavor you've ever tasted. More Bosco magic. Cake, ice cream, topped with extra thick, extra chocolatey Bosco syrup. Try it. Bosco also makes milk chocolatey delicious. Tell Mom to get Bosco chocolate flavored syrup for you. Sing out.
I love Bosco, it's rich in chocolate tea. Chocolate flavored Bosco is mighty good for me. Mama puts it in my milk for extra energy. Bosco gives me iron and sunshine vitamin D. Oh, I love Bosco, that's the drink for me.
Hello, No, I don't know what to do. He's still at the hospital. No, he's with President Hofstadter. There's no way to phone. Well, I guess we just stand by. How's the balloting? Oh, no.
No comments.
Wait a minute, Senator. He's here. Bill, it's Senator Joseph. He's in the convention hall. They're into the 6th ballot. It's still a deadlock. Cantwell's leading, but nobody's got a majority yet. Merwin's sitting tight. Joseph says if you let him blast Cantwell now, you're in on the next ballot.
What was the voting on the 5th ballot?
Cantwell 474, Russell 386, Merwin 214. All the favorite sons are gone, and nobody's budging yet.
What about Merwin? If I was to get his 214 votes.
You'd win, but he's sitting tight. Joseph's trying to reach him now. See if he'll take on the 2nd spot with you.
Cantwell must be trying the same thing.
Merwin's holding out for the best possible terms.
He's showing unexpected character, isn't he?
You've got to make up your mind. You've got to let our boys get this stuff on Cantwell out to the delegates. We can ask for a recess before the 7th ballot.
Tell the senator to wait.
But we can't wait.
I said wait!
Not yet. Bill, what is the matter with you? We've lost a night and a day, but one word from you and we can still wreck Joe Cantwell.
I know.
Then why are you holding back? Joe has done his worst. Every delegation's got a copy of your case history, and believe it or not, we're still in business.
Which means perhaps that dirt does not always stick.
Enough, did. You lost 300 votes because of it.
Not all to Cantwell. Merwin got over 100 of my votes, and that is a sign of something.
Disgust.
Or human decency.
Decency at a convention?
I'm an optimist.
I packed. I thought no matter what, we'd be leaving Philadelphia.
Yes, we'll be leaving.
How was Art?
They wouldn't let me see him today. He's still on the place.
Bill, I hate to press you on this, but you have got to make up your mind. The 6th ballot is almost over. Hello? Who? Oh, it's you. He does. Now? Bill, it's Don Blades. Cantwell wants to see you.
I'm sure he does. All right. Tell Joe to come up again. I'd like to see him.
Okay, he'll see you.
What do you think Cantwell wants?
A deal. What else does Joe Cantwell ever want? Oh, have you seen his latest statements? The rumors about William Russell's health have been maliciously exaggerated. It's wonderful.
Look, before they get here, let me call Senator Joseph.
No!
But yesterday you were willing to do anything.
That was yesterday. I lost my temper and did rather a poor imitation of Joe Cantwell. I was remarkably melodramatic. I even turned my own stomach. But today I am myself again.
Bill!
Leave him alone, DJ.
It's a certain relief to know that the worst has happened to you and you're still alive and kicking. Ah, there's my old friend, Senator Carlin, Trinity End.
This sovereign state cast 44 votes for the next President of the United States, Joe Cantwell.
Senator Carlin has every characteristic of a dog except loyalty.
Hello, Bill.
Hi, Joe. What a nice surprise you're coming up here like this.
Yes. Mrs. Russell, I am Joe Cantwell. I don't believe we've met.
How do you do?
We talked on the phone, I guess.
Sit down, Joe. I thought you'd be busy working on your acceptance speech, or is it already written?
Now, the way I see this convention, delegate.
I've been working for months on my acceptance speech, trying to strike that delicate balance between humility and confidence.
Yes, now, Bill.
You, of course, have a knack for hitting just the right word.
Yes, now,
I like
Bill.
the way you always have a way of speaking about the obvious thing as if it was a sense of real discovery.
Yes, now, Bill.
And that masterful way you have.
Bill, at least let me get one word in edgewise.
Sorry, Joe. I couldn't resist. I was using Joe's technique. Never let the other man get started. Talk right through him. Also, whenever Joe starts a sentence with "now, Bill," you know he's up to no good.
Now, Bill, you
See?
know. Very cute. Now, Bill, this convention is deadlocked. In the way things are going, we may never nominate anybody.
And who wants to spend the next 4 years in Philadelphia?
Now, you believe me when I say I have given this whole thing a lot of thought. And I want you on my ticket.
Well, that's very generous of you, Joe. Tell me, how can I possibly run for vice president when I am at this very moment suffering from one of my frequent nervous breakdowns?
Now, you know, there was no way of keeping a report like that secret. Anyway, you gotta admit, we handled the whole